Hey Libra, welcome to Key Wisdom. My name is Ruth. I'm your Reiki Master and teacher, and this, my darlings, is your extended reading for this time period. So we're going to start, as always, with our Divine Masculine or the Sun, Moon and Stars. Okay, so we'll start with the Sun or the Divine Masculine, which is our oncoming experiences for this time period for the month of September, things that might be happening in our lives, etc. In the second row is our Divine Feminine or the Moon part of our reading, which is everything beneath the surface, our emotions, our intuition, and anything that might be hidden from our conscious minds. And then finally, in the Stars section of our reading, that's our destiny, what's to come as we go ahead into the month of October. Okay, so let's get started. Obviously, as you can see, Tiny's in the house and he's sleeping. Tiny's an earth sign, you know. I don't know what he is. I think he's a Libra, actually. I think he might be a Libra, actually. I can't remember. But yeah, he's a star sign. He's an earth sign. He's always for the earth sign meetings. Always. Yeah, I see that. I see that for sure. We've been seeing a lot of activation energy over this time period, which is shifts in our awareness, our understanding. And I see the same for you guys, actually. I feel the same for you guys, Aries. We're all kind of Aries, Libra. I see the same for you guys, Libra. Did I say Aries? I meant Libra. You are very, 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 very decisive and clear about where it is you're going in September, Libra. Very, very decisive and clear about that. There's no room. There's no room for doubt. There's no room for fear. There's no room for reticence, is the word that came just then. There's no room for that. I don't know why, though. I don't know why. You're not letting this opportunity pass you by. You are determined to not let this opportunity pass you by. And yet, I would like to know the reasons. I would like you to consider the reasons why you are so committed to this way forward. You are committed to this. You are committed to this way forward. You are 100% committed to this way forward in September. I would like you to examine why. I don't know what the reading's going to say because I can't see the card yet, but I can see the month. I can see this. I can see where you're at. I should say. I can see where you're at. I mean, the thing about you guys is you're very clear, though. Very, very clear about your way forward. We've got this devil energy here. You know, I'm a Capricorn. This is Capricorn's energy. Now, the card at the base of the reading is the overall energy, right, of the time period. So let me tell you what I always say to people of what the Capricorn energy and the devil energy represents, okay? It represents the slavish commitment to our responsibilities or to a way of thinking or to a belief or to an act that ultimately leads to our transformation and salvation from it. So what that means is that we can commit to something. We can do this job, putting everything else aside. This is what I've got to do. I've got to do this job. I've got to do this job. I've got to do this job. And yet ultimately it's that in itself, the commitment itself that we dedicate to this job, that ultimately we turn around after, I don't know, time and go, oh my God, like, I can't believe that, like, I'm doing all this energy for my job and nothing for my family or nothing for myself or nothing for my health or whatever. I need to actually re-examine my priorities and how I'm using my energy. That's what this energy represents, the devil energy, okay? That's what it represents. It represents that realization, that transformation. So I'm feeling that for you guys. I'm feeling for you guys that there's something that you are committed to, that you have been committed to, that now suddenly, clearly, you want to go in a direction. So I don't know what this direction is, but you are very committed to going in that direction. So I don't know if this is the direction, if you, in a sense, are you committing to that direction, or whether this is the transformation from that. So whether you're now going in this new direction as in getting away from that, or if this direction that you're going in is leading you in that direction, if that makes sense. So I don't know yet is the answer. So let's see. Oh, see, so we've got this clarity, King of Swords. We'll start. This is the divine masculine, or the sun part of our reading. So this is where we're headed, the path in front of us, the experiences, the oncoming experiences that you're going to be feeling and having as you go through the month of September. So we have the King of Swords, the King of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Magician energy. I mean, it's very, very difficult for me to tell you to say anything other than clarity, because that's what I get from this energy, from these energies, or from your reading. It's like there is no noise, there is no obscuring factors. There's nothing that is in your way. There is nothing that is in your way. There is absolute clarity and commitment. That is the energy of this reading. That's it. That's what's there. Let's start with the King of Swords. So we're looking at our mental consciousness, which is what the sword energy represents. It represents our mental consciousness, our thinking, our ability to think, our perceptions. So what we think about something, our disposition, how we perceive ourselves, our situations, etc., our lives, whatever, how we perceive things, how we see things. This is what the sword energy represents. And with the King of Swords energy, it may represent a shift in your awareness. Like you suddenly see something, you suddenly realize something, you are very clear about what you have seen, and you are very clear about what you now must do because of what you know, because of what you see, because of what you understand. That's what this energy represents to me. So as I said, this could be moving away from this. Yeah, it is. It's moving away from, yeah, it is. Okay, so it's moving away from this. So whatever you have been committing to up until this point, now you're going in a brand new direction. Now you're going in a brand new direction. You are now finally you're the one who's breaking these chains. So whether that's, I don't know what it is, job, relationship, way of thinking, way of seeing yourself, for example, it could be thinking of yourself in a certain way that you have up until now thought about yourself. So for example, you might be like, I'm no good, I'm a rubbish mum, I'm a rubbish friend, I'm a rubbish sister, whatever, right? You might have thought that, for example, in your head about yourself, right? And it's like you realize now that is what needs to change. So and because you think of yourself as a bad person, a bad this, a bad that, a good this, a good that, because you think of yourself in that way, that means that you behave in a certain way that feeds into, or that validates, if you will, that way of thinking. This is what, for example, you're cutting ties from that. So you're no longer thinking in that way. You're no longer feeling that way. You're no longer saying those things to yourselves. You're no longer going to do that. You're no longer going to stay. You're not going to stay. This is the thing that you're escaping from. Now, as I said, escaping from, it sounds very dramatic. You know, people might say, oh, toxic. You know, you don't have to be a drug addict or an alcoholic or a gambling addict or whatever. This can just be, as I said, not toxic commitment, but commitment to a way of thinking about you, a way of thinking. Yes, it can be a job, a family, a relationship, a habit, or whatever, but it could also just be, as I said, a way of thinking. And that is what is changing. The clarity of this, it's like you're in like a big room and it's all white and the air is just flowing. That's what it's like. It's like there's nothing blemishing. There's no blemish on your understanding. There's no blemish on your cognition, there's no blemish on your perception, well, until we get to here, but there isn't. There's clarity also in how you feel. So yeah, there's an understanding now of what this was, because this is a was, because look what's beneath it, and the star keeps popping out, right? So it's showing that this is a time period for you guys of breaking the chains, if you will, cutting them out yourself, cutting these chains yourself. And it's because you become aware of not only how you think, but also how you feel. This is the things that have been beneath the surface, the emotions that have been beneath the surface. The Cups energy represents our emotional selves, our intuition, our memories, our experiences, the imprint, if you will, the imprint that our experiences leave with us. Oh, that's what the Cups energy represents. And here we've got the King, so we've got that all the kings, queens, etc., they all represent change as well. And when I say change, I mean in our awareness, change in our awareness of something. So in this, it's in our heart space, it's in our heart chakra, excuse me, it's in our sense of compassion, our sense of honesty, our sense of truthfulness, our ability to know ourselves, to love ourselves, or love other people, blah, 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 all that stuff. That's Cups energy, King of Cups. So it shows there's been a shift in your awareness of that. So it shows that there's been a shift in your awareness of what is true in your heart. There's been a shift in your awareness of what is truly in your heart. This is what we see here. So we are acting, you are behaving clearly, decisively, with a really clear understanding of not only how you think, but also how you feel. Now, this is how you've been thinking. This is what you're realizing. You realize that you've been stuck in a way of thinking. Eight of Swords. 8 is the karmic cycles, right? So you've been stuck in a cycle, in a way of thinking that has blinded you to the suffering that you've been encountering by not being honest with yourself, by not being truthful with yourself, by not understanding your motivations for committing to something, committing to a way of thinking, committing to a way of life, committing to a relationship. You didn't realize that committing to that way of thinking, that relationship, that way of life, that experience, you didn't realize how it was making you think, what it was doing to your head. Now you know. Now you see that it's a way of thinking. What it is this month, it's that push and pull, that tussle that's going on this month between. It's like you're waking up out of this. You're realizing that I don't really feel that way. I don't really think that way. I'm not really that type. I'm not really that person. I'm not who they told me I were. I'm not who he's told me I were. I'm not who I tell myself I am. This is not the way that I want to work. This is not, it is making me physically ill by doing this. Like, it is making me physically ill by not saying this or whatever. Now you see that. Now you see that you can't keep saying to yourself, yeah, but that's what's best for everyone. Yeah, but that will stop people being upset. Yeah, but, if I do this, then, I earn the money, which is necessary for that. Yeah, but no. This is the way of thinking that is being cut out. Like, I won't do it, but it's like tearing it up. It's tearing this. That's what, in my head, that's what's happening. This is being torn into shreds, like, torn. So this is it's that way of thinking. You're no longer being tied to that way of thinking. And you're the one has come into this awareness because of what you've been doing on your inner work. You've been thinking, you've been reflecting, you've been considering. You've been feeling, you've been being honest about how you feel, you've been being aware of your feelings, and it's up before September, and it's that that's bringing about this transformation. It's that that's bringing about this new awareness. It's that that's helping you to recognize. CBT just came to mind. It's that that's helping you to recognize the way that you've been thinking, that has been that cycle of thinking that left you stuck, or that has kept you stuck up until now in this place, okay? In this place of dissatisfaction that you must now transform out of. So CBT came to mind, cognitive behavioral therapy. Whether some people have been having cognitive behavioral therapy, engaging in some form of mindfulness, whether it's been sort of informal as a sense. So you've been doing an app on your phone, you've been going through the different meditations or whatever, or you've been learning, like you do as a Reiki master, so you're learning the different meditations, or you've been going through tantras and you've been learning the different meditations or whatever it's like that process has been going on before now, and it's as if it's like your mind, you've learning about your mind, like literally learning about your mind. So some of you might have had very formal counseling sessions or life coach sessions, or you've been working with your spiritual teacher, for example. Some of you have had very formal, some of you could be informal, but either way, whatever's been going on is you've been learning about your mind before as you enter September. So it's that's shredding. I literally shredding it, tearing it up into shreds. Your ties to the old ways of feeling, the old ways of thinking, that chain, that's what's transforming out of. And you're and the reason I'm saying CBT, but you're the one who's done it. You're the one who's done it. This is showing active engagement. This is showing that you have put work into breaking these chains yourself actively. you've been doing stuff. I don't know what the stuff is, but you've been doing stuff. Some of you, I said CBT, actual counselling. You might have been doing yoga, whatever, I don't know. Reading, you might have been reading, you know, some of the tantras or the sutras like that are contained in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, like, which is the only book I read. The Liberation by Hearing and the Intermediate State. Some of you have been doing actual focused work in some way, whether it's been an exercise regime, an eating regime, planning something, I don't know. But whatever it's you've been doing, excuse me, I'm speaking really quickly. Whatever it is you've been doing, that you've been engaging in, actively engaging in, it's that. And it could have been something, it could be learning to paint. You've always wanted to learn to paint. So at the start of lockdown, you started to learn to paint. And in the process of learning to paint, what you realized is, or what you started to realize is this, that you're tied to a way of thinking, or you're tied in this relationship, or you're tied to this job, or whatever. So the thing that you've been doing is the thing, or that you have been doing, or this year or whatever, is the thing that's helping you, that's literally been the thing that broke the chain. You broke the chain by the work that you've been engaging in. So what I see here with this energy is, some of you might not have realized that until now. Yeah, those people who've been doing mindfulness practice, or working with a spiritual teacher, or working with a counselor or a doctor, you might know, or doing your meditation, you might know. But some of you who've been painting or knitting or gardening might not realize that it's the gardening and the painting and the knitting or the reading or the teaching yourself something new. It's been that process that has actually helped to bring about the awareness in an area that may seem completely separate. Yeah? So the painting has helped you to realize that you don't want to be in this relationship, or the painting has helped you realize that actually your self-esteem is not in good shape, or that you held on to something that happened when you were a kid, or whatever, I don't know. But so this is showing whatever that thing is that you've been doing, mindfulness, painting, cooking, exercise, whatever it's been for you, that keep doing it. Actually, keep doing that thing, because that thing that you are doing, that you have been doing, is the thing that's actually waking you up. It's bringing in this new awareness for you. It's helping you to release and to, as I said, shred the chains, the old ways of thinking, the old ways of perceiving, the old ways of seeing things. It's this thing that you've been engaging with that is helping you to make these changes on an emotional level, on a mental level. Yeah. So keep doing it. If you've had anxiety, this thing that you've been doing has actually helped you to recognize the anxiety, and is actually helping you to be clear on what you want to do moving forward. You are committed now, or you will be. As the month goes forward, you'll feel that commitment grow to go in this direction, whatever this direction is for you as an individual, but it's away from this. That's one thing we do know. Okay, let's look at what's going on beneath the surface then for you. Lovely to see this here. You know, this is like this in a sense. I mean, I know these are two kings, but what it's showing, as opposed to divine masculine, divine feminine, like we see on the Lovers card, but what I see here, hang on, let me do it this way. And you can see, then it's easier to explain. So we've got the divine feminine here representing our emotions here, and we've got divine masculine here representing our conscious mind, It's the unity of those two things that we see here in the Lovers card. So it's almost like the message is almost repeated beneath the surface. When you know, it's good to see it above and below the surface, because what this means, what I see here is that you're acting decisively. You're clear about what you think. You're clear about your mindset. That's what this shows. This shows you understand how you feel. You understand what your emotions are beneath the surface. You're coming into that awareness. We see that, and you're behaving in those ways. Your acts, or the things that you're doing in your life in September, we see in this first row, are showing that you understand, or showing that you feel, or showing that you know. So not only do we have that on the surface, in the actions, in the things that you're doing, we also see that supported beneath the surface from your divine feminine. So we've got the Lovers card, we've got the we've got the Seven of Wands, which is like what I've just basically said. We've got the World card, and we've got the Knight of Swords. So this is the fastest moving. I'm going to just turn that down because it's such a fast moving energy, that card, and it very much takes my breath away. So, I read intuitively. I don't really need tarot cards to do readings, but I use them because it's easier for you guys. But that's why I always do them face down, because as I said, there's a lot of energy and I feel all the energy. You don't need to see the pictures, but with this one, I have to. I'll turn him round in a minute, okay? Because he takes my breath away, that dude. Okay, so we got the Lovers card here. First of all, we've got the Lovers card. So as I said, that unity, divine masculine, divine feminine coming together, that understanding, that wisdom, and the things that we do externally reflect how we feel internally, truthfully. Yeah. So look, I always love to show the cards here. I always love to show these two cards together, because obviously, as you can see, they are the same, right? So this card is about appreciation. Number six. This card is about the Lovers card is about appreciation. It's about appreciating both parts of ourselves, our experiences, our past experiences, held by the divine feminine, held in our emotional body, well, in our emotional selves, not in our emotional body, but whatever, held in our emotional selves, if you will, our divine feminine, our memories, our emotions, our reactions to things, how things have imprinted on us, how things have affected us in the past, divine feminine, divine masculine, the things that we do, our outward experiences, the things that we say, the things that we encounter. It's a coming together of those two things, and an appreciation of those two things, recognizing that both aspects of those things make me, make you, right? And that's the same here, if you see. But here in the devil energy is we're committed. We don't realize that we are held prisoner by either of those things. It could be by the actions, i.e. the things that we're doing externally. It could be our emotions, the memories, the things that the imprint of the experiences that we've had. Whatever, it's one or other or both. But it's those things that keeps us in this aspect stuck. In this, in the devil energy, those things keep us stuck and tied onto certain paths before we can understand. But this is where we appreciate both aspects. So it can be, for example, the past experience held by the divine feminine could be that I always use this example, your parents got divorced when you were younger, that made you think and feel a certain way, that created a certain amount of trauma, and it was that trauma that kept you stuck. So for example, I don't trust no men, I don't trust no women, I'm never getting married because people cheat, people are bad, whatever, and it was that idea, if you will, because your parents got divorced, blah blah blah, that kept you stuck and kept you thinking in a certain way, and therefore kept you acting in a certain way, and you committed in that way for so long until there was a realization. And the realization is that you appreciate, actually, it was that showed me strength. It was that showed me that, a man or a woman can be, you can be happy after that, or that not all relationships work out, or whatever. This is appreciating both aspects of, okay, so when I broke up, it was traumatic, but it taught me this, it gave me this, it showed me this. This is where we get the appreciation. Long-winded, I know, but that's those two energies together. And that's the appreciation that you're coming to. What you're recognizing is that so the relationship, or the old way of thinking, or the old way of being, or whatever it was for you, this is what you're starting to appreciate. You're starting to appreciate that I wouldn't know myself, or I wouldn't know my emotions, or I wouldn't know what I need, or I wouldn't know my strength if I didn't go through that, if I didn't have that experience, if that wasn't there, I wouldn't now know what I now know. If that makes sense. That's what the Lovers card represents in this case. And it could, obviously, people are always asking me about love. With it being here, hidden, if you will, beneath the surface, it could indicate for some of you that is what might come in, that this clarity is bringing in this love for you, love of self. But it could mean that, in the future, if you will, that we can't see yet, that, like, this type of transformation, the breaking of these chains, if you will, frees you from this way of thinking and allows you to behave differently, therefore attracting new experiences when it comes to love into your life. Yeah? Okay, so next card here, we've got the Seven of Wands. Again, we understand that 7 is the number of mystery. It's related to the 7th chakra, the crown chakra. The crown chakra is your spiritual center, your enlightenment. And again, that enlightenment is having that higher perspective. It's about seeing the truth, seeing the reality of something, of a situation. And but we only get to see that because we ask the questions, because we keep trying to understand why I am, and why I think, and why I feel this, and how I feel this, and why and why I do this, and how I exercise, and And so this is saying with the wand energy, which is the thing that moves us, or wand energy, the chi or ki, if you will, or kundalini energy, if you will. Not quite the same, but kundalini energy, if you will, the same family of energies. But anyway, this is what the wand energy represents. So it's about understanding. This is really about listening to, feeling, recognizing, responding to your instinct, to responding to the thing that is if you have a reaction to, or something, to go somewhere or to do something, this is you listening to that. This is you not only hearing it, but listening to it and responding to it. That's what this energy represents, which is responding to the energies that you're feeling, responding to the because it's new in a sense for you. It's new in a sense for you, because instead of listening to this, instead of being chained by this old way of thinking, this old way of feeling, this old way of being, this old way of perceiving, there's new sensations, there's new ways of thinking. Well, you've thought this for so long that you didn't know who you were. Well, now you're starting to see. You thought that for so long that you didn't know what you want. Well, now you're starting to know what you want. You're starting to feel like you know what you want. This is responding to those feelings, responding to those little pings and those little triggers. This is recognizing that your instinct, your intuition is there, and responding to it. This is what we see here with the Seven of Wands. So it's new in a sense for you. So you've got to kind of keep hold of it tentatively. So respond to it at every time. So whenever, if you have that urge to buy yourself flowers, buy yourself flowers. If you have that urge to have only tomato soup with brown bread and just for today for my lunch, then that's what you're going to have. Listen to that intuition, because we're starting to hold on to it. We can make it stronger. It's like you're this is really asking you in this position, moon section, what's beneath the surface. This is what you'll be feeling. So you'll be feeling, you'll have reactions, you'll have instincts that might be not necessarily heightened, but you might just be noticing them more because it's new, right? Because you're getting out of this old way of thinking, this old way of responding, this old way of perceiving. You're getting out of that, right? So that's being torn up. So there's going to be new experiences. There's going to be new feelings. There's going to be things that have always been there, but you've just never felt before because it was disguised by this. It was obscured by this, right? So now it's time to start to feel them. Now it's time to start to listen to them. Now it's time to start responding to them, to your emotions, to your intuition, to your knowings, to the ways that you're being asked to go, to the ways that you feel asked to move. And you do anyway, because we know that because of the Knight of Swords here. So we've got the World card here. And this is really, I mean, look, we've got the World, we've got the Fool. So we know that we've got new karma coming in. And what this card indicates ultimately is that foresight, if you will, that oversight, that insight, that high sight. I keep saying high sight with this card, but it's about seeing, it's about the appreciation within you. This is what I said already, right? It's about appreciating. It's about appreciating all the experiences that you had, even this experience, even this old way of thinking that kept you stuck for so long, even this old way of this job that's been a nightmare, or this relationship that's been a nightmare, or whatever it's been that's been a nightmare for you. It's about appreciate. This is about being able to see all, have that high sight. I always say it's like, being in a bird's eye view at Formula One. You can see the track, you can see all the twists and the turns, and you can see all the, hello Tiny, you can see the track, you can see all the twists and the turns, you can see all the bends and the curves, and that's the type of foresight or high sight that you get, or insight that you get with the World card. And it's the appreciation of that, like, blimey, I did that, I went through all that, I did all that, but look at what it gave me, look at what it gave me. Wow, that's what you get here. Yeah. And you this is what you have here with the World card, and still with the Fool card just hiding there beneath the Devil as well. Okay, and then finally for the what's beneath the surface. So, excuse me. So this, with it being beneath the surface as well, I just wanted to say with the World card, is expansive. You see, it's number 3, so it's expansive. It's 21, 2-1. 2 is about commitments, 2 is about partnerships, 2 is about duality, balance. 1's about new beginnings. 1's are about initiating new beginnings, you initiating new beginnings. Both numbers 2 and 1 are about success as well. So, and then 3 is about manifestation. It's about abundance. What we see here is that there's a new commitment to to your truth, to this new truth that you've established, and that you found because of all the things that you've just been through, because of the path that you've just walked as a fool. And now it means that new experiences are coming in, and there's a feeling and a want of these new experiences coming in, and you're the one who's going to bring those new experiences in for yourself as well. You know, this is the Knight of Swords here is beneath the Magician energy. So again, these are your energies, the air energy. I didn't say that before. The King and the Knight of Swords are your energy, Libra. And you know, you in your element, Libra, you in your element are clarity or balance in your element, if you will, stereotypically. But we all have, this is the thing that I worry, I feel sorry in a sense, not feel sorry, have sympathy in a sense for all the zodiac signs, but air signs, because I mean, I'm a Capricorn, so imagine, you know, everyone thinks they know everything about Capricorns, but they don't know anything about Capricorns. They always say, oh, they're ambitious. That's all they ever say anyway. Whatever, boring. Aloof, they say. I mean, have you ever met a less? I mean, anyway, whatever. There's these stereotypes that people use. For you guys, it is that there's no not no emotions, but you're in your head and not really. You're in your head and you don't share necessarily what you think or what you feel until it's straight in your head, right? And so you maybe come across as very level to people, and you maybe come across as very sort of, you know, steady, but you know that that's not you, right? You know that there's beneath the surface, just like everybody, there's other things that go on. You just click into that. You just sort of, the sun sign is just the perception, isn't it? It's how you perceive and how other people perceive you as Libras. But it doesn't, that's not who you are beneath. That's not who you are. That's not who anyone is, right? So there's a kind of sense of wanting to hold on to this and wanting to be that, and it might be that this is what we hold on to, the fact that we don't want to share our emotions, or the fact that people perceive us as not having them, or that you perceive yourself as not being emotional, or it's more important to have the level-headedness and the steadiness. But what we see now is more, not recklessness, the word recklessness just came to mind, but just more freedom for you to be, more expressiveness, more expression. And you know, whether there's a tendency to want to hold on to this, maybe there is, but remember what we said here, you've got to follow that intuition, that instinct. The Knight of Swords is like all the ideas, all the thoughts, everything rushing in all at once. Not necessarily you going out and doing anything, because this is beneath the surface, but the thought to, the ideas to, the clarity to, the will to, this is all those, everything coming into your mind, everything, just a second. Because what happens when I look at this, I really find it very difficult for me, this card, to be honest. I'm just not going to look at it, because what I find with this card is it takes you like this, like down a path, if you will, down a path, and you end up, you know, I'm a Capricorn, I end up, it kind of makes me dizzy in a sense when I look at this card too long and talk about it too long. For you, it'd be much easier, I'm guessing, because this is your vibe, right? Like the thought, the thinking, the process of thinking, the process of, you know, discerning, being able to discern, being able to logically apply your mind to, you know, deal with a problem, or to overcome a problem, or to think about something, and you're very good at doing that. But what we can't do is we can't decide how we feel, and you know, we feel how we feel, but all of us, not just air signs, all of us, we can try to decide that we feel a certain way, hence the devil energy exists, right? Hence the Seven of Swords exists, hence lots of different energies, the Two of Swords, hence lots of energies exist, because we think we can decide who we are, because we think we can decide how we feel, and yet we cannot. With this energy, I'm just getting a lot of, you feel like you're back in a sense. I feel like that, what I feel is that there has been some obscuring going on, you know, people, whether if someone's been, I'm gonna have to say what is coming to my mind, right? The words manipulation came to mind, smoke screen came to mind, I feel like for some of you, your vision has been obscured. What you can see, what the truth is, has been obscured. Now, that could be, and I feel it's the smoke has been in your eyes. And I feel like, and it might be for other people or another person has obscured your eyes, has obscured your vision. It's smoky. Someone could have been purposely lying or purposely trying to manipulate or purposely obscuring something from you. Someone may have. It may, though, not have been another person, but for some of you, it has been. But obviously, now, you know who that person is. This is, you know how that has been obscured, if you will. You know what's been going on. There's no doubt that you know what's going on in the month of September. You know if someone has been lying or if someone has been manipulating or if someone has been obscuring, you know that coming into September. But it's kind of like there's more to know, not as in like there's more secrets to know from them or whatever, but it's like, this is like saying, it's like there's more that you can see now, even though you know coming in September that this person was lying or that you were lying to yourself or whatever. It's like getting rid of the smoke helps you see. It's like your eyes are coming into focus. It's like everything's coming in now, lots more information, lots more clarity is coming for you. You're making connections for yourself as well. You're making connections. You're like going, oh my God, yeah, like he said that and I didn't realize that was going on, and oh my gosh, that's why that happened, or whatever, that's why I thought that for so long, or that's why I did that. It's like you're making those connections really quickly. For me, that's kind of breathlessness, as I said, but for you guys, you should be in your element. There's a lot going on, but as I said, remember where we're at. You're at a place of compassion. You're at a place of appreciation. Like, thank God, I know. Thank God I had that experience, because I wouldn't appreciate who I am. I wouldn't appreciate what I want. I wouldn't appreciate my emotions or whatever. It's like, thank God I had this experience in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's that's kind of what it feels like. Okay, let's move on, because I need to get reference going. Okay, so let's move on to what's coming ahead then. So the destiny, if you will. Good. So we've got new energy coming in. We've got the 8 of... So this is October, if you will. So we've got the 8 of Wands. We've got the King of Pentacles. Oh, we've got... I'm so much calmer now. As I said, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm like, some ground. I need some firm ground for my intuition to sit on, because my intuition just goes all over with this. I was like, woo! Anyway, sorry. And the sun. See, so this is what I like to see, right? The reason I'm happy, I'm happy with all the cards. I'm happy when I see the Devil. I'm happy when I see the Tower. And I'm happy when I see the Nine of Swords, because all the cards are about awareness, right? So it's always good to know. And if you don't know, you can't grow. So you have to know where you're at now in order to move forward. But why I'm happy, in a sense, when I see this raw, is because what it shows is that what we thought right at the beginning when we couldn't see no cards, that your commitment to going in this direction is absolutely clear and focused, and this direction that you're going in is away from this, is away from that old way of thinking, that old way of doing, that old way of perceiving, that old way of whatever. You're literally transforming out of the Devil energy into the Lover's energy, right? So we when we see the Devil energy, because we know it's linked to Capricorn Earth sign, we know that means it's been something that's been ongoing. It's been ongoing. It's been a long time, that you've thought this way, or that you've done this job, or that you've been in that relationship, or that you've been single, or whatever, or that you've been drinking, or whatever, right? You've been a long time. But we know that we see in September that you're appreciating the experiences that you had, but you're moving out of those experiences now, and that is further supported by these energies here as we move into October. So we have a new karmic number. We have new karmic energy, the 8 of Wands. So we have the 8 of Swords here, and now we've got the 8 of Wands. So as I said, Wand energy is about our life force, our chi, our ki. 8 is linked to karma, right? Karma is about lessons. It's about learning. It's about understanding where we've been. It's about understanding the importance of where we were and what where we were was meant to teach us. It's about understanding that. That's what number 8 is about, right? It's about karmic cycles are about giving us an awareness, letting us see the connection between our on our surface world and our inner world, our divine masculine, this is like a number 8, see, our sun and our moon. It's a combination of those, it's those two things coming together with the number 8, with i.e. hence karmic number, infinity, right? It's the coming together of those two things. That's why karmic experiences bring us into awareness, bring us into expansion and growth. We see here that this is new energy coming in, because it's number 8 and it's the energy number, it's the key, it's the wand energy. So we have new energy coming in for you, and it's not, and this is, remember, you when I said to you, you've got to respond to your intuition, you're going to feel it, you're going to notice it, but you have to respond to it in September, and you do and will, and it becomes much stronger now as we move forward, much stronger now as you move into October. This is you wanting, you're very much in control, not in control, is not the right word, you're very much engaged in this transformation that's occurring right now. You know, you're actively working, it's like you and the universe are working together, you and your inner child almost as well are working together to help you to overcome things, to help you to overcome ways of thinking and ways of being and ways of behaving, etc., and ways of perceiving. It's like you're very active in that process yourself, and this is why you're able to manifest new experiences, and this is why you're feeling look how confident you're feeling. We've got 3 kings here: King of Swords, King of Cups, King of Pentacles. Okay, you've got 3 kings. So wow, we know when we see kings, queens, etc., they mean change. So there's changes going on, but again, it's changes in your awareness. This is what we mean. Might be some actual external changes with the Pentacles energy here, with the King of Pentacles, but we know that Pentacles energy is about where we put our energy and effort in order to manifest security. So this is true security, and where you've been putting your energy and effort is here. Good. You've been committing to a situation your commitment to that situation was the thing that showed you who you were, was the thing that showed you what you needed to know. Karmic, right? These, obviously, we know King of Pentacles is Capricorn, Devil's Capricorn. So this, we can see the maturation, can't we? We can see the shifts in our awareness, can't we? We can see the confidence that brings in, the foresight that gives us. You know, there's a real new sense of where you're going to put your energy, where you need to put your energy, where you want to put your energy, where you want to go going forward. You're confident, you're moving forward, and we know that things are coming toward you as well now as we move into October. We've got the card of 3 of Wands, which is about opportunities, oncoming opportunities that we have helped to bring forward toward us. We've walked through the door, but not only have we walked through the door, we found the blooming door. We walked up to that door, we found it, and we walked through it. And by walking through it now, what have we got? What have you got? You've got an opportunity now for new experiences coming towards you. That's what we see for the 3 of Wands. We know that number 3s are about expansion, and we've got 2 3s already. The World card, which is 21, which is 3, and we've got this 3 here. So we know that 3s are about expansion. I would watch which number, Gemini. Watch Gemini's reading. I give a very good description of the number. They are 333 in their reading as well, so I give a very good description of number 3. Watch that as well if you want to watch it. But yeah, it's a real about expansion. I'm doing this in that, so if you go through the bottom of the video you'll see me doing this. This is me talking about the coming together of 2 sides of self. Yeah, they have the lovers as well in this position. Anyway, so you'll see me doing this in the video, so find it in Gemini and you can have the real full breakdown. But we see this expansion here. We see that it brings about new experiences. As I said, you found the door, you walked through the door, and now what is laying ahead of us, what is laying ahead of you, things that untold things that we don't know, or that we may not even be able to recognize, the blessings that are now going to be able to come our way because of this, what we've been doing, what we freed ourselves from, what you freed yourself from. Finally, we got the Sun. We've got the happiest card in the deck. I mean, this is, you know, I can, as I said, all I could see at the beginning of this was like a clear room, clear, no distractions, no obfuscations, no obstructions, you know, no more smoke in the room, no more, you know, mystifying, you know, forces or people or whatever. Clarity, and an absolute commitment from you to go toward that clarity, to sit within that clarity, to be clear, to feel clearly, to think clearly, to recognize and respond to your instincts clearly, and to move forward and move ahead clearly, and you know, and we can this is what obviously this card represents. You know, we know that this is 19, 1, 9, 10, so we know 10's new, you know, the karmic experiences, you know, the turning of the wheel is dharma, really, not karma. Dharma is learning, lesson, but it's also change, dharma, and we turn the sacred wheel, like the number 10, the wheel of fortune. We turn the sacred wheel once we've learnt the lesson, the important lesson, the long-standing lesson or dharma that we should have learnt. We turn that wheel. The way ahead is lit forward for us, and we can be comfortable being who we are. We can be comfortable moving forward with what we now know about ourselves, with this new understanding of who we are, with this new awareness of self, this new awareness of our emotions and our mental self. Rewards came to mind there. It's as if there's rewards ahead of you. You're going towards reward, and again, the reward may be a sense of compassion, feeling love, it might not be, I mean, it might be though, because I feel like there's something potentially is going to be manifested actually. So it could, you know, there could be a very real thing that you get because of this, because of going away from this. So moving away from this way of thinking, or this job, or this person, or this relationship, whatever, moving away from that could definitely bring actually something real into your life. Like a new job, or a new person, or a new opportunity. For some of you, yes, it will be a sense of, so you know, you'll have this new awareness, and that will change how you perceive yourself, and what you do in the future, how you feel about yourself, how you think about yourself, how you thought about the past, etc. You'll all have that. But I also get, for some people, I also do actually get manifested change as well. So actually a difference in your environment, a difference in something. So your world might change for some of you. In a rewards is the word. Rewards. So for some of you, those might be, as I said, you know, things that you can hold in your hand, these rewards. I don't know, money or an opportunity. I don't know. You know what rewards mean, but I'm getting that sense of, for some of you, you're going towards rewards. Your truth is bringing you rewards. Your truth, your emotional truth, your mental truth, the coming together of those two things is bringing you rewards, and it's your fault. It's your work, it's your gardening or meditation or counseling or whatever you've been doing before now and continue to do in September, that's actually bringing you into this awareness and bringing you these new opportunities and bringing you rewards and happiness. Okay, my darlings, I hope you like that reading, Libra. I liked it very much. Check out your moon signs, check out your rising signs, etc. If you haven't subscribed, do, and click the bell. I'm going to be also uploading another video at the same time, I think, with these about consciousness, because that's really been my focus this month. So check out that video as well. I'll be talking about the number 7 on there, and the maybe number 5 as well, and the 8 aggregates of consciousness. So check that out. Subscribe, blah blah blah, and I'll see you in a few weeks with your brand new reading. I hope you like to have a wonderful September, October, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, my Libras, take care, my darlings. Bye.